Alright everybody, how's it going? It's been a long time since I made a video. And you may be asking yourself, why haven't you made a video? And to that, I have no real response, but, well, I guess I just didn't feel like it. I've been busy, but honestly, I can't lie to you and say that I've been so busy that I can't make a video. I've just been, kind of getting stuff taken care of, schoolwork and such, but yeah, I probably could have made videos in there, I just didn't feel like it. But don't worry, I still love you all. Anyway, yeah, what you see in front of you are some pastel-colored ponies. Yeah. But in front of that is the main focus. That beautiful amplified... Wait a minute, nope. Nope, there's still something in front of that too. Well, I guess these are some Nixie tubes that have been arranged in a fashion that most people would consider preferable. 6 tubes, 2 marker tubes, an open circuit board because steampunk, and yeah, it's a clock. It is a Nixie clock. Not only just a Nixie clock, it is a Ukrainian Nixie clock. Why does that have anything to do with it? Well, I actually got this before Ukraine was all trying to get annexed dealio. Yeah. But, yeah, I got this around, probably mid-January of last year. And I'm just now getting to actually, I've had it on, it's been on my desk for a while, but I'm just now getting to actually making a video about it. I thought it was just super cool, and I started chatting with the designer of the circuit and the actual builder, albeit there was a bit of a language barrier because all his English was translated and all my Ukrainian was translated. Yeah, Slavic languages, Russian-based language, I don't know what they're called. The one with all the weird symbols that look like backwards versions of our symbols don't translate well to our real symbols. Yeah. So I've got this nice Nixie clock in front of you. It actually has nothing here. I don't know if it can be picked up on this camera or not. I'm shooting in 60 hertz at the moment, but this is not multiplexed. Each one of these tubes has its own driver and step-up circuit. That's to promote long tube life. It's got marker tubes, one of which I have turned off because I guess I just didn't find its location preferable at the time. But this is a pretty cool little clock. Let's first take a look at the sheet while it just ticks away at time. Oh, I love that effect. Okay, so here's the sheet that I was sent. There we go. Homemade Nixie clock, assembled my own hands. Yep. I did get it on eBay. I had a good chat with the guy for a little while, or as good and chatty as you can get with a language barrier like that. But it's actually, this is pretty cool. It's got 6 IN14 Nixie tubes. These are the ones that came from the Gazotron tube factory in Rovno, Ukraine. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that horribly wrong, but I'm an American. That's what I do. You can see it's also got 2 IN3 Nixie separators. I think they're not really Nixie. They're kind of a neon mix. They take way less voltage, not just because of their size, and they also have their getters inside flashed, unlike a normal Nixie tube, which has no getters. Or most Nixie tubes don't have getters. A lot of them do. They're usually flashed on the bottom, though, on Nixie tubes. This does not. These have obviously flashed getters on the back. For those of you that don't know what a getter is, it's basically a little metal disc that's filled with a couple of chemical. I guess it's not really chemicals. They're sort of chemicals. It's basically just filled with a couple of different chemicals that can be lit off by a high voltage and heat. And what it does is it releases gases that suck up the extraneous air and some other fuse, I think nitrogen and stuff, out of the tube so that you get a nice good vacuum. Anyway, it's got a 32-bit ST Microelectric 32F100C8 processor that is actually, it took me a long time to find it on the circuit board. It's hiding underneath the CMOS battery that's in there, which is a CR2032. 11 parameters, and by that I'll show you the parameters in a moment here. 12 or 24-hour mode. It came default in 24-hour mode. I have it in 12 now because military time. It's got multicolor adjustable LED glow, independent and random color. Now what he means by that, as you can see here, right now I have it just set to the independents are off and the randoms kind of just do their own thing. You can never turn the randoms all the way off. It says you can, you really can't. Not a really big deal. I don't actually care. If I wanted to, I would just desolder them. It's not a big deal. It takes like maybe 5 minutes of my time. But I kind of like it. I didn't think I would at first, but the little underglow's okay. Those of you who drive lowered vehicles, a little underglow is not okay. You no longer need that. It is not 2004. Need for Speed 2 hasn't been relevant in a long time. Anyway, rant. End rant. Automatic brightness of RGB LEDs by photoresistor. That is true. They do dim. If I turn like the light off in here, then you might be able to tell they dim. Yeah, they dimmed a little bit. They're not particularly sensitive, and it doesn't dim a lot. It's got 9 modes of switch digits. That is just bad translation. I really don't know what it means by that. I think it just means you can have the digits do different in-between effects. Like you'll notice when this one changes to 9, I have it do that little random thing. I think that's what he's getting at, but I'm not exactly sure. IN1 tubes work in static mode, which is awesome. No multiplex. 6 Russian chips, K155ID1. There is a very insert more varies here, popular Nixie driver chip that has a 7 and multiple 4s in it, but I don't remember the exact chip number. That was great for, it was in many American products for driving Nixies. They can still be found out there, but when the Russians started using Nixies, they also ripped them off. And they made this chip, which is now becoming a little bit more rare too, because Russians haven't made Nixies since about 88 or 1988 or 89, one of those. They did make them for a long time though, far past the life of which we thought they were usable over here, because I think we started switching to LEDs and LCD much earlier than 1988. Yeah, so this has 6 Nixie driver. Okay, yeah, fine. Don't sit how I want you to sit. It says 6 Nixie driver chips. There. What? What? Okay. Alright. No SMD elements. What SMD is meaning in this case is surface mount design. And he says except MCU and 555 timer, so that doesn't really mean no, it just means there's a minimum of them, which is okay, because a 555 timer in all reality has very little chance of failing. I'm not sure what the MCU is in here. I'm going to guess it's the memory unit for holding on to presets and settings. It does have a thermometer, and you can have it display the temperature, but I didn't want that feature enabled. You can change the clock accuracy if you believe that the time is slowly slipping into the future. Mine originally came a little bit fast, so I adjusted it down a couple, and now it's, well, let's put it this way, I had it unplugged for 4 months, and just off the little CR2032 battery, it kept within like a second and a half of time. And that's so minimal to reset, it wasn't even worth going in and resetting that to get even more accuracy out of it. I did set the date format to month, day, year, but then decided I didn't want it really displaying the date anyway, because I can glance at my computer for that if I so feel necessary. It's got RGB LEDs, 6 colors of backlight, and auto change mode, kind of already mentioned that. Backup battery. Data is not lost when the power is off. That's the 2032 I was mentioning. And 3 buttons. time, alarm, and color, which are extended buttons. So let's see here. Let me grab this in a way that it's not going to shock me. There are the 3 buttons right there. You can see them right there. And they have extended masts on them, which is awesome, because that means I could put a little case over this and they'd still stick out. I wouldn't have to build any functionality into the case, because my ability to work with plexiglass is minimal. Alright, my camera's showing me I got low battery, but I'm going to ignore that and keep chugging on. Let's hope it doesn't die out on me here. Got some more features. There we go. Shows the power source here. 12-volt barrel plug. I'm using the power supply for an old Netgear router I had. It was 1.5 amps, which is... It's saying rated current no more than 600 milliamps. It's how much it is going to take is no more than 600 milliamps. You can use a bigger power supply. It won't hurt it. It only takes what it needs. So I had a 12-volt, 1.5 amp power supply plugged into it. It shows the height of the PCB. Noiseless work. You will not hear this clock. You really won't. I've had it off. You can hear a tiny bit of Nixie noise. I don't know what it's from, but it's not loud. All right, high voltage, roughly 160 volts. Not a big deal. I've touched it a couple times. Yeah, it'll take you by surprise. It ain't gonna kill you. 1224 time formats. Already mentioned all these. They're all the modes that I was telling you about. I don't think we need to go through each one of those individually. It has worked, but I thought this was funny because setting the time is ridiculously easy. But his use of, I guess, wording to describe how each thing is done is very, well, let's put it this way. I offered to rewrite his things for him just because I thought it might help with resale or whatever, but he still did a very good job. How to set time? Easily. Time setting is very easy. How to set alarm? Lightly. Not sure how that has anything to do with anything. How to change parameters? Readily. That's somewhat related. Okay. And how to set current date? Simply. That one's probably the best of all of them. How to change color of backlight? Airily. I dig it. Backside are more parameters and what each button can do. It's got some great features. If you want more, I'll post this online if somebody wants to actually read through this. But then he went above and beyond the call when he sent me this thing, and I'm going to get it out of the way just so I can place this whole paper in view. That, folks, is a full circuit diagram. And being a do-it-yourselfer, I guess do-it-myselfer, I do things myself. How about that? I really appreciate this because when it comes time to fix something, I hope I never have to. And by the way he constructed it, I doubt I would have to, but the through-hole mounting makes it nice and easy for a person like me whose ability to solder varies day to day depending on how much coffee I've had, and still even then goes down to a baseline of crap. Yeah, this makes it much easier to fix something should the need arise. I hope it doesn't. I don't think it will. Now that I said that, I'm sure it's going to go up in smoke in about a half second. Anyway, so yeah, this is an awesome circuit diagram. I'm glad he included it. I'm glad I remembered where I put it. Get that out of the way. Okay, now to the piece to stuff. Anyway. Boom. Stupid cord is too short. There we go. Alright. I don't know how... This is a new camera, by the way, so I don't know how well you're going to be able to see any of this, and I was just watching the horizon move. I'll probably edit that out because I'm just being stupid now. I don't know how well we can see on this, but this is a fixed focus, so I'm hoping that when I bring things close, you'll still be able to see them. So what we've got going on here is a whole bunch of tiny components, mostly resistors, some tiny disc capacitors, a few little transistors. There's one power choke that I can see. A lot of trimming pots just hanging about. I think that's for getting the accuracy on time a little bit closer so that the processor can take the rest of it from there. Underneath the CMOS battery is the CPU. I don't know how well that can be seen in there. Come on, cable, get out of the way. There it is. You can sort of see it under there. Got our transistors, our capacitors, a little more little radial capacitors, a couple of more resistors. And in between, I don't actually know what those are called. The Nixie tubes themselves, you can see the... Ooh, I just touched it. That was... Owie. You can see the Nixie driver chips sitting in their sockets. They are socketed, so if I need to change one, that's nice and easy. You just pull it out. Still got a chip extractor laying around here somewhere, but if you're really of the daring variety, you can also take them out with a tiny flat blade screwdriver. You can see the anode mesh on the Nixies. And I thought this was kind of interesting. Look at the number 5. What does that look like to you? That's correct. On the IN14, the number 5 is just a 2 upside down. I guess that is a clever way to cost save. Let's show the back of these. There we go. Look at that. They've still got the CCCP Communist Party logo on them, which is cool. This is for the United Soviet Socialist Republic. And then there is the backwards NH, which is apparently comes out to IN14. Anyway, that is the lovely little Nixie clock that I got on eBay. And I will look up through my bidding history. It's been over a year now. I'm sure it's still in there, though. I'll look up through my bidding history, and I will contact the seller and see if he wants to be mentioned. I bet you he'll probably want to be mentioned. It's free advertising, right? He builds these by hand, so he usually only has one on eBay at a time. Takes him about while he's trying to sell one, he's usually assembling another one. So they come on a week-by-week basis. But I took a chance. It works amazingly well. And I've fallen in love with it, because honestly, you could just... I mean, look at these tubes. You could turn the 0 digit off, by the way, on this one if you're worried about it burning out. But it's just mesmerizing and entertaining to stare at these tubes. Their glow is just amazing. I'll turn off my... I mean, look at that. I stare at this in bed sometimes when I still leave my computer on, because my usual power supply for this is actually one of these ends cut off and then mated to a 12-volt Molex on my computer, so it comes on with my computer and turns off when I'm done at my desk. You can do it too. It's pretty easy. I mean, you just have to take the 12-volt supply off of your computer. Not off, but just grab a Molex and look for the yellow wire, and one of the 2 ground wires on the Molex is fine. It doesn't matter. Either one works. Anyway, yeah, that is the Nixie clock that I got on eBay. I hope you guys enjoy. I will have a video because I'm now in a new apartment. Yeah, that's right. I got out of the dorm. I'm in a new apartment. I've done a lot to my truck. I've done a lot to my computer. Boy, we have an awesome setup in our apartment. I'll have to show you guys everything. So yeah, hopefully more videos to come soon. I got some stuff on the day after New Year's at the local thrift shops to my home on the other side of the state, because that is the best time to go. Everybody's throwing out their old stuff to get some new stuff. So yeah, I will hopefully have a video of some of those cool things I got at the thrift store soon. I guess that is it. Peace, everybody.